Hello and welcome back to ESL Studios here in Sydney, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. It's the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship Season 1 Counter-Strike Global Offensive Finals. I'm here on the desk. We've got PDG. He's here with Jim. The first time we've had the chance for these two boys together the whole weekend. And I can't think of a better game to have you two together on. Chiefs up against Athletico. You've got the combined knowledge of these two teams pretty much down pat. Yeah. Peter, that was a pretty insane best of three we saw just before.
Wasn't it just? It was a fantastic display of individual skill from both teams, I found. All players across both teams had moments, individual moments of brilliance. And ultimately, I think it actually came down to the Lonsdale pistol, where he got 2 Glock headshots and then pulled out the clutch with his deagle. I mean, who does that at this level? It was crazy, and Parallax ended up coming away with it.
It's amazing, or it's not amazing, but it's fantastic if you can rely on your in-game leader just to be able to, those key points in time. You know what? Sorry, boys, I'll put you on my shoulders. I'll carry you through. We'll get there. And with that, they've gone to the grand final.
I was going to say, with that too, he's such an integral piece in what they offer. In those instances, he didn't actually have to think about what his teammates were doing. He was just allowed to focus purely on fragging, and that's exactly what he did. And he proved that without the burden of in-game leading, he's just as capable
exactly.
of fragging as the rest.
It'd be interesting to see just how he could go if that's all he had to do time and time again.
Yep.
So let's take a look at our schedule for today. We've seen the Chiefs up against XL5. They won 2-0. Then XL5 dropped down and lost to Athletico Brotherhood 2-0. Chiefs almost took it to Parallax. I guess they did. They just didn't come away with the victory. They went down 2-1. So we're now down to our second last best of 3 of the day. The Chiefs up against Athletico, our lower bracket final. The winner from this goes through to our grand final and takes it against Parallax. The loser, unfortunately, is out. We now know both of these teams have played Parallax already this weekend. So does Parallax have an advantage in that situation, Peter, having beaten both of these two teams already?
I'd like to say yes, I really would, but I don't believe that.
Why is that?
Because Parallax looked shaky as anything when they were put under the pump. When players were playing aggressive on them and people were pushing into their holds and actually disrupting their strategy, Parallax looked like they were about to fold at times, and both of the teams that are going to come out of the semi-final, whether it be Chiefs or Athletico, they have such explosive fragging power. They're actually the anti-Parallax, so to speak, and we said that in the previous series, and Chiefs didn't come away with the win, and we said that in the series before, and Athletico didn't come away with the win. Yeah. But it's almost as if like Parallax are towing the line so close to getting away with all these close wins that by the time they get to the final, can they deliver another great best-of-3 series to get over the top?
Well, that's right. When you compare the two teams head-to-head, you've obviously got the, loose style of Athletico, and then you've got that very set, structured style of, Parallax, but then Chiefs, that's so similar to Athletico. It's basically just going to be a matchup of firepower.
Okay.
Now, for me, that's going to bode interesting, particularly when it comes down to those 1 versus 1s, those 2 versus 2s. That's where I think the game's going to be won. That's how I feel this match is going to go.
So you feel that irrespective of score, it's really going to be, that one team could win by a margin, but in reality, it was actually a little bit closer in the end, one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And when the Athletico boys were breaking down the tape of their games last night, they were disgusted at the lack of consistency in those 2 versus 2, 3 versus 3, 2vx, 3vx sort of situations where they essentially capitulated. They did all the hard work early and then just failed time and time again to win those rounds against Parallax. They've come out this morning and had a great series against Exile 5 where they came away in overtime, and that was a big learning curve for them. They were in front, and then they were behind, and then they got back in front, ended up winning the game. I think that really puts them in a strong position to contend with Chiefs, because Chiefs are coming in red hot into this series as well.
Well, that's right. We quoted a lack of experience from Athletico's point of view.
I did repeatedly.
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make out of this is, I guess, that now they've experienced what would be close to a full spectrum of games.
They've had all the feels,
They've had the blowout. They've had the massive blowout, the losses, the crushing defeats. But then they've also had the victories and then the close overtime victories, or they had to grind their way back into the match. So I guess as far as experience goes, they've definitely chanced their hand at taking a piece of everything.
They've had all the opportunities here today. So let's go ahead and take a look at our vetoes. Athletico removed Cache. Overpass went away for Chiefs. We will see Dust 2 for the first time this weekend. we'll see Train once again as Chiefs pick. No Cobblestone, no Nuke, and Mirage in the end. Does this change things at all, Peter? Did you expect to see this?
To be honest, I was just praying that Cage got vetoed for Athletico because they've been so poor on CT. I can't even begin to describe what they were like, but they vetoed that straight away, so that's good to see. Chief recognising they're not a structured team, getting rid of Overpass, that was part of the course. The interesting thing for me here is the Dust 2 pick first from Athletico. They haven't lent on Train and they haven't lent on Mirage, maps that they've played before, been successful on already today. You'd think that they would pick that first, but they've gone for the complete unknown. They've gone for the out-of-the-box pick for both of these teams. Neither of these teams have played Dust 2.
That's true.
So it'll give an interesting feel to the start of the series, and who really is on top of those aim jewels will come out because neither team has really played Dust 2.
Is that before? I know when I spoke to Sniper a couple of weeks ago when we were doing some of the qualifiers, Sniper sort of described Dust 2 as like more of a pub style map, less about executes, more about aims. Would you agree with that, Jim? Will that play into this today?
Look, I think Dust 2 is a map that definitely lends itself to the team that reads the play the best and manipulates the opposition the best. And I think there's opportunity to do that both on CT and T side. Obviously, there's a different level of strategy that goes into that, but definitely the disruptive CT play can punch holes in shaky T sides and very individual T sides as well, teams that tend to split up across the map. You can isolate certain players quite easily if you coordinate your CT pushes and time those quite well. Alternatively, on the T side, you can actually, through set smokes and strategy, if you've got a read on where the CTs are playing, you can isolate certain players as well. So really, it just comes down to who reads the play the best, who works their opposition the best, and I think both teams have a similar play style in that regard. So individuals are going to be the ultimate determining factor.
Fair enough. Well, we know the maps. We know the teams. They both played already today. We know what's at stake. Peter, what is your prediction for this game?
My prediction for this game is bold.
Okay.
Don't go breaking any new ground.
No, I'm actually...
It's a new studio.
I'm going to pick Chiefs.
Okay.
And the reason I'm going to pick Chiefs is for the exact reasons that you described, Jim. The Dust 2 will be determined. I think whoever wins the first map will win the series 2-0. So I'm in a very similar position as Sniper was in the previous series. That turned out to be wrong, but I'm with you straight to
picks, by the way.
I know you are, but I'm going to pick Chiefs for those exact reasons you said, which were the ability to make small changes often enough and manipulate your enemy. Even though Chiefs went down to Parallax, they showed an outstanding ability to actually break down what Parallax were doing, make subtle changes to what gameplay they had, and then I take advantage of that time and time again. So having practiced that for a whole series against Parallax and having to do it on a much higher level, because for me, Parallax are much stronger strategically than Athletico. So if they're able to do that against Parallax, they're in good stead to try and transfer that across to Athletico. Athletico need to come out absolutely gangbusters here to get ahead by so far that they don't have to worry about the Chiefs grind coming back. And they need to do what Parallax couldn't do and close them out fast in game one and not let them get that string if they're going to get ahead.
String along.
Yeah, that's it.
Jim, what's your prediction?
Look, similar vein of thinking to Pete. Obviously, Chiefs possess the depth of experience that Athletico simply don't. Big games call for big players, and big players are all through Chiefs lineup. So we've seen them all have individual moments of brilliance as well. I think that's probably the key part for me. When Athletico won through on XL5, it wasn't so much every player doing their part. There were spurts from individuals, but overall, you can't honestly say that every player has played to their potential.
I will say, though, the one advantage that Athletico does have that's glaring is infrequent. Chiefs juggling that AWP around, multiple players. Burn went absolutely ballistic on that first map, but they didn't come away with a win. Infrequent, having that consistent pressure with that AWP. That frequency, exactly. On Dust 2 especially, it's an AWP-heavy map, and you can manipulate it really well. So, I mean, it's a 50-50 for me, but, I'll take, as Jim said, the big game players.
Well, let's see how we go, guys and girls, because it is time to head into the game, our lower bracket final. Athletico up against the Chiefs eSports Club. The winner of this game heads on through to our grand final tonight, up against Parallax. The loser is out. Let's throw it over to Mike Starr and Elfish Guy.
Cheers, Ben. And yes, it has been a pretty interesting day so far, and looking forward to this matchup. I think this is going to be a really good one here, but we saw from the analysts they both predicted 2-0 to the Chiefs. I think I'm going to back them out as well here, 2-0 to the Chiefs. What do you think?
Yeah, I think this is not done and dusted by any stretch of the imagination, but the strength that Chiefs showed throughout that previous matchup is just going to be too much for Athletico for what they've dished up this weekend. If they can recapture that online form somehow, if they can build on what they did in their previous match against XL5 and come through, we're going to be in for a really close one. But again, their experience is probably going to favour the Chiefs, and they're going to come out with a 2-zip victory.
Yeah, I mean, today I haven't actually seen really all that much that's impressed me from Athletico. They looked okay, but I didn't think they looked fantastic, and they certainly didn't look as good as the Chiefs looked in that previous match against Parallax. So that's kind of my train of thought for this one. I certainly think at the moment, currently, Chiefs are looking a little bit stronger, and well, I guess we'll have to wait and see how it turns out. But heading into this map, Dust 2, haven't seen it all weekend. And it's funny that we should say that because we are in Australia or Oceania, ANZ, whatever you want to call it. And typically that is, I guess, one of the popular maps among the scene. And, well, this is going to be the first time we see it on this weekend. So it's almost good for me to say that we're seeing Dust 2.
It's a strange world we live in these days. Donald Trump's Republican nomination, and we're playing Dust 2, and that surprises us for once.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's going to be the T side for Chiefs to start off with. And this, of course, was Atletico's pick. And I can understand from their perspective, if things aren't really working for them on a very strategic level, then you can go back to your aim. And that's what those guys have been very good at recently online.
Yeah.
So perhaps they're just going to try and come back to basics.
Does look like the Chiefs here starting out on that T side, probably looking for a B split here. Chutch missing a lot of shots there, but Destiny is going to get in there. Actually getting a double kill. Nice start from him. Mungo will go down to Kyoto, but the B bomb site in the complete control of the Chiefs right now, and really basically the entire map is in their favor. As you can see, the final remaining Atletico player going down to Nikes there, so a very strong start coming out from the Chiefs here early on in the pistol round.
I'd like to break it down, but there wasn't really much to other than winning the aim duels there.
Yeah.
So this is what
bodes well on
Dust.
Dust.
Yeah, it was one of the keys that Jim put out as big plays by Chiefs. And pistol rounds, they only won one pistol round, I think it was. Or did they all lose all of them last matchup rather against Parallax? So that's going to provide them with a little bit of extra breathing space. He gets traded out, thankfully. So it's a nice shot from Leaz to start things off.
Leaz going to get the 1-for-1 there. Infrequent trying to do his best to hold long here from the pit. Really not doing a whole lot of damage to any of those players from the Chiefs. I guess Burn down to 52, but he'll be relatively okay for the moment. Mungo just charging up short there and basically recognizing now that the A-bomb site is completely clear. He'll call for that bomb to come up towards more the site proper and get planted. But here, waiting for the Atletico guys to try and contest this, or if they're even going to try and do that, whether or not they're going to go for the exit frags. It seems like Mungo just keen to hunt them down with that SMG of his. Chutch is going to be the next one to take the duel, and Ants as well, but only able to pick himself up an MP7, so probably not the most useful of weapons in this situation. And the Chiefs here have lost a couple of guns, but luckily for them, they're only the SMG. So, I mean, Atletico are going to get some guns out of this round, but really not the guns that they probably would have wanted.
Sure, but they can certainly use them in the next round. Perhaps they didn't buy anything into this round other than Leaz bought a Deagle. There wasn't much investment, so potentially a lot of teams do the eco on this round here, the second round, but perhaps they should buy some force armor, buy some armor next round to try and use these two weapons. At the very least, if you get a kill with them, you do actually get quite a substantial amount of cash dollar, which none of which will go towards their banks because they've just lost both of them. So 2-zip, early start to Chiefs, and they're taking care of an eco as they should. And we're going to see a little bit of a grenade-type strategy popping out from Athletico. Smoke and a HE nade on both Kyoto and Chutch.
Probably looking to head towards long with those. Maybe throw them into the bedroom.
Yep.
Don't think it's probably going to catch anyone from the Chiefs off guard here. It does seem like Chiefs really not too interested in that side of the map for the moment. They're going to send one over actually as a default setup, but Mungo once again will be charging straight up through short onto Catwalk. And what Destiny finding the triple is going to finally, or eventually, really get the fourth kill there. And I mean, it's not too much to yell and scream about, but nice to see the aim working in Destiny's favour there.
Bit of the old eco slaw. Everybody loves a bit of that. Boost your numbers, make you look impressive.
Yeah.
But he has been.
Stat pad 7-0. Destiny doing good job.
But he has been. Obviously, he's calling this weekend for the Chiefs, so his output as a fragger is probably a little bit lower, perhaps, than we've seen in the past.
Well, in theory, but it certainly doesn't seem to affect him too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. So, whilst in this case it was all eco slaw, he has been putting up good numbers and impact frags as well. So, just a bit of a default setup coming up here. Chutch getting a nice kill onto Chris to start off the round there as he tried to push up along the catwalk. And it looks like Infrequent's holding along with the AWP and gets that one done as well. So this is a great start from Athletico, but now they need to close the round out, something that they have struggled with, as Petey mentioned in the pre-game. So we'll see whether they are able to stop Chiefs from clutching them out.
Yeah, it certainly is a good start here for Athletico. All of a sudden, once the gun round comes to a 4, Atletico getting that early advantage here, and the Chiefs just left floundering a little bit in this one, but we've seen them come from worse odds. We'll see whether or not Destiny can find his kill. Actually, he does. Burn finding one onto Sonic as well, and there you go. The B side is open. Atletico back to the 3 versus 3, and this is kind of what we mentioned again. You know, Atletico just capitulating in those mid-round to late-round situations.
It's not all over them yet. Destiny's only on 4 HP, but it's notoriously hard to retake this B bomb site, but they have a few utility to use as well.
Good post-plant positions, though, for the Chiefs. They have someone in the upper tunnel and a couple more on the site. It's going to be incredibly tough here for Atletico to get into the site. In fact, though, they do manage to find a double kill. Nikes jumping out of the tunnel is going to get the double kill, and you can see Chiefs very excited about that. Chriso and Nikes specifically having a good time in this one.
Now, really, it's a round that Atletico probably should have locked out, and they've been forced back onto the eco again. So that mid-round scenario, pushing up onto the B-bomb side, it was a very well-timed split. And there's another thing that whilst you're going on a map like Dust 2 and you're relying on aim, or that's your game plan a little bit for Atletico, you remember the Chiefs are also great aimers. But when you're going on that aim-only sort of approach, we just see a little bit of eco action coming through.
Yeah, not looking so great for the Chiefs there. They're going to gift at least one gun over to Chutch there, who's managed to pick up that MAC-10. He might get tagged by the nade, does, but not quite being finished off there. Down to 12 HP, though, so he's a little bit worse for wear. Still, the Chiefs probably wouldn't have been so keen to give up those extra couple of weapons here.
Well, one of them's a MAC-10, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's still another one on the B side, isn't there, that Atletico can potentially retrieve if no one's covering the tunnel, which at the moment they're not. So you can see Chutch here now has found himself that AK. And if he can drop that over to Infrequent or Kyoto, well, never mind that, as Infrequent gets taken out by Burn. And the remaining 2 players as well from Atletico getting demolished. Burn looking good in this one as well. So dangerous times here for Atletico. They're already 5-0 down, which is definitely not a good scoreline at all on any map, but let alone Dust 2, which is generally considered one of the more even maps of the pool.
This is one of the points that Jim brought up in the pre-game. So getting a good start was fairly critical to Atletico's success on this in this matchup against Chiefs, and they haven't done that, and Chutch actually gets tagged down to 20 there in mid as well. So it hasn't ended too well for them thus far. Liaz managing to get one trading equally frags towards the A-long there, and that we're left in a 4 versus 3. Again, this scenario is favouring Atletico in terms of raw numbers, but what we saw 2 rounds ago, they weren't able to finish a round off from this exact scenario, really.
Well, they even had a better scenario than
true,
this.
yeah.
So, well, I'm definitely not going to count the Chiefs out of this one. Destiny, we always know that he can come up crazy, and Chriso, of course, as well, in those clutch sort of a situation is something that he's, you know, very adept at. It's going to be Chutch, though, to take down Nikes, making the task a little more difficult here for the Chiefs. Destiny is going to go down as well, but Chriso is able to peg one back. Still, not sure it's going to be enough here. He's only got an AWP to work with. 57 seconds to play with, so plenty of time, but certainly in a bit of a disadvantaged position here, and he's going to try and he's going to have to try and retrieve this bomb here, but Atletico have got a great crossfire setup, but we do start to see Kyoto starting to move around.
He has to drop, use some of his utilities here. He's got a smoke that he could drop if he wanted to
he's going to walk right into Sonic. I think he's got no idea where he is. Yeah. It's an easy as you like kill there for Sonic, and they find their first round. Does Atletico Brotherhood, but Chiefs won't be too bothered by that. They've got enough money here to continue to put the pressure on Atletico.
The buy will be of less than desirable quality for Atletico due to putting only their first round on the map, on the board. And Infrequent's actually going to try and challenge mid this time. Nobody's there waiting for him. Chris has been picking into mid there, and instead Burn is going pretty hard up onto the long area there.
Oh, what happened there?
I'm not even really sure what's going on at all, to be honest.
I don't know what happened to Chriso there, but somehow he managed to kill himself, and then Kyoto gets awarded. money for it, but
Grenade.
yeah, must have been something like that. But regardless, it's going to be a 3 versus 5 here in the favor of Athletico Brotherhood, and I think that's the thing to focus on here. They were able to close out that advantageous position that they had in the previous round, but still can't count our chickens before they hatch. Infrequent making the job a little bit easier there for Athletico. Takes out Mungo, and now only 2 players remain here for the Chiefs. Destiny and Nikez trying to make their way up onto the A side, or at least Destiny is. Nikez hanging over towards the B side. Not sure exactly what he's doing, but going to try and probably make his way over there and see if he can get anything done. Destiny has actually found his way up onto the site, but has yet to actually spot anyone from Athletico.
Also, okay, Kyoto's made his way around to long there. I was going to say that the bomb is actually out at A long and nowhere near either of the players.
Yeah.
So Nikez is last alive here. And this will be a very good situation for the Athletico economy if they're able to take out Nikez without any further losses to their team. And Sonic looks like he should get the job done, and that he does. So, nice little fight back coming in here from Athletico. 2 rounds in a row, and that's important, economically speaking, as well as building momentum within the game itself. But of course, that 5 in a row, and a lot of them being pretty comfortable wins as well. Seeing the economy being very strong on the Chiefs side. So they're bought pretty much an ideal buy, except for Chris and Mungo, who are running with, well, no utilities on Chris, and Mungo's only got the Tech 9. So a little bit of a change of pace here from Chiefs as well. They've moved up into the mid area fairly quickly. Burns up on the stairs, as you can see. Trying to find his way up onto the A side, see if he can find someone napping. They can't. And things slow it right back down.
Yeah, so at the moment, the Chiefs really not too interested in poking anywhere too aggressively, or peeking anywhere too aggressively. They're just hanging around on catwalk and short. Burn slowly but surely making his way in towards the A-bomb site. The entry fragger for the Chiefs going to try and find something out of this one, but Infrequent actually holding that line, and it actually seems like the Chiefs are more than keen to move away from that A-bomb site, just trying to fake it out perhaps, and well, it hasn't really drawn a rotation, but Kyoto in a nice spot here in the CT spawn should be able to get behind a couple of these guys and find a kill, but that's a good flash. Throwing off his aim, not going to work out too well in the end anyway for the Chiefs, as Athletico absolutely completely demolished them.
Not a lot of information gained by what Chiefs had done in the lead up to that execution, going up on a B. So they had no idea that there was someone sitting in spawn. They had no idea how many people were on the B site.
Yeah.
And having 2 people on the B site allowed Chuch to look down from B back towards mid. And then Kyoto, of course, as we saw on the stream, popping up from CT spawn there. So a really good crossfire setup, and something that the Chiefs sort of basically walked into, really. It was a trap.
We did see, you know, the Chiefs get those 5 rounds fairly convincingly, but it seems like now Athletico have just gotten 3 convincing rounds of their own in a row. So really backwards and forwards game going on here at the moment. The Chiefs seem almost lost. You can see Nikez just charging straight out there. I mean, it is an eco round, but there didn't really seem to be all that much intent from that, apart from trying to win an aim duel, which is really not the ideal situation on a pistol round. Infrequent and Chuch just having a field day at the moment. Chuch grabbing another one. Sonic will chime in with a single frag for himself in that round. But the Chiefs really looking a little bit lackluster right now after that short spree of 5 rounds in a row.
They're looking like they don't have a lot of intent within the round. So it just sort of seems, oh, we'll go here and we'll see what happens. Athletico are playing fairly sitting. They're sitting back quite a bit. So they're not really finding anything. You know, Chiefs aren't really finding anything. And then, yeah, it's just sort of like, oh, well, I guess we'll go towards here. And then twice they've fallen into an area where there's quite a lot of Athletico members waiting for them.
Yeah, Chriso deciding to take the duel in mid and actually re-peeks right into the crosshairs of Infrequent. A good start in this round again for Athletico, and all of a sudden they are looking like the ones that perhaps have the advantage on this map. But I guess it remains to be seen how much longer this is going to continue. The Chiefs can bounce back at any time. And I mean, a 5-5 result on Dust 2 is certainly something that wouldn't be necessarily too bad at this point in the map for either team.
See a little bit of exchange of grenades and gunfire there up on short. And again, there's 3 people from Chiefs. Look like they want to make their way out through mid, up towards B perhaps. It hasn't really worked for them last thing. And we've got a nice little bait set up here. Flash comes in, Liaz gets the first kill and the second. Nice from him. And it's good to see him stepping up a little bit as well. He was very quiet early on yesterday, and Church finishing off Mungo to finish that round there. So 5 apiece. And this gets to the point where you go, should we perhaps take a little bit of time, think about what's going on, reassess?
I'm not sure it's quite at that point just yet here for the Chiefs. I mean, they have a sort of an eco/force spike coming up here. They can take a little bit of time just to maybe chill out and have a chat, or just rush B. I don't know. We'll see what they decide to go for. It certainly looks like they're heading straight towards that B site. The Molotov is going to go down there from Athletico, and they're going to think twice about rushing straight in there, but it still seems like the intent is to go towards the B bomb site. They'll have to deal with Sonic. He's in a great spot to find some frags here, but hasn't managed to land a single shot. Luckily, Church is able to get one. He is traded out straight away by Mungo, though. Sonic finally landing a shot there with the AWP and a second. So redeeming himself, Infrequent has arrived as well on the B bomb site. Sonic does go down in the end, and Chriso has managed to snag himself an AWP. I don't think it's going to be enough in this situation. Down to 9 HP. They know exactly where he is on the site, and the bomb not in his possession either. So the Chiefs, I mean, they tried to get something out of this round and get into that B bomb site. And for a moment it looked okay, and then all of a sudden Sonic pops up with a double kill and basically shuts things down in the favor of Athletico.
Well, they call Chris the Iceman, but I don't feel like he's going to get anything done in this. Just a single hit point left to go.
Fair credit, he's doing what he can, but really Atletico's giving him nothing at all at the moment. Trying to use the Molotov there to grab something for himself, trying to flash in there as well. I think probably the best option here, just try and get a bomb plant, but I don't even think Atletico are going to allow him to do that.
Okay, they are. Interesting. Should be an easy retake, and it is, in fact, that. So Kyoto taking him down, so they'll take the lead for the first time in this matchup. This is the first map, if you're just joining us. The best of 3, we're playing Dust 2, and then we'll have a look at Train, and if need be, we'll go on to Mirage. This is Atletico's pick, starting on the CT side. And look at that economy now. It's starting to look pretty good there on Athletico.
It's looking a little bit better than pretty good, to be honest. It's an extremely good economy here for Atletico. They've got quite a lot of buy rounds in a row, despite the fact, or even if they do, in fact, lose a few rounds in a row. Chuch actually getting tagged through the doors there with the AWP, so that's not too great for Atletico, but still, they're going to get the first frag of the round. It's Liaz being able to pick up Burn, and this long push working out okay for the Chiefs. They get the 1-for-1, but Infrequent going to be able to take down Destiny. And actually, that A-bomb site has been lurked around upon by Mungo. He's in a great position here to find one. Does manage to do that. Liaz is going to go down now. Infrequent stuck between 2 Chiefs players. Sonic trying to peek in towards mid here. He should be caught out by Nikes. Indeed, he is. It's a 3v2 now, and this perhaps is looking like a time where the Chiefs might be able to turn things around and peg another round back for themselves.
Infrequent still lurking around at long. I don't know whether they definitely know this there. Church picks up a very important kill to bring it back to a 2 versus 2. He got the guy, Nikes, lurking around in mid. So it's now to a decision to Atletico whether they do go for it or not, and they should absolutely go for it in this stage. Try and see what they can make happen. And Infrequent has opted to go for the AK rather than his favourite AWP. Set the bomb on fire.
Yeah, Chriso on the other hand still taking away that AWP. Mungo though is going to be the one to pick up Chuch. Now Infrequent has to do something from this point, and he's actually probably got this. Mungo, I don't think he's going to be able to get this. Oh, wow.
Yeah, those plays are going to galvanise a team like Atletico, and they're going to take a lot of momentum out of that. That was a really, really strong 2 versus 2 win there for them, and you can see it on the Chiefs' faces there.
I don't even
happy.
Why was Mungo so far away? What was he doing down that far in CT spawn?
Well, he got the lurk kill on. Basically, I think he was hanging around in mid, and then
Sonic
he
tagged through the walls again.
Yeah, and the player moved up onto that A site, and then he was just so far behind. He should have pushed up towards the A site to provide some support for his teammate on there, but wasn't the case. So a slight misplay, and it gives another round to Atletico with probably one that they may not should have won there as well.
Yeah, well, the Chiefs are certainly not going to go down without a fight, but having said that, Atletico respond in kind. Liaz finding a double, Sonic as well, grabbing one for himself, and what was a good round for the Chiefs is now turned back into a round in the favour of Atletico. And it's down to Chriso and Nikes to find something from this one for the Chiefs. Looks like they're once again going to be heading towards that A-bomb site and trying to make use of, I guess, the AWP there on Chriso, and Nikes will try and find something on the entry, but certainly still seems like Atletico really in control of this first half at the moment.
Yeah, they have certainly done well to string 7 consecutive rounds, and we can see funnily enough, Chris is not leading the pick here up onto the site, so he obviously has the scoping advantage for long, but isn't just using it now. So this is a smart play from Athletico as well. They've got the number advantage, so all they need to do is make sure that they work together as a team. And when they're going to come in from these, by the looks of things, 3 different angles, they're going to come in all at once.
The difficulty here now for the Chiefs is that they're both stuck on the bomb site. There's really nowhere that they can go. If they had been able to get Crusoe down in towards long or even on short or something like that, that might have been a bit of an advantage here for the Chiefs. But they should, in theory, just get absolutely demolished here. But it's down to Niquez, and he grabs the final 2 kills. Crusoe did get 1 before getting traded out, but a very good hold there from those remaining 2 Chiefs players, and actually a great round coming out from those 2 players as well. So perhaps a round that should have gone in the favor of Athletico this time, now going in the favor of the Chiefs.
That miss Molotov there from the player at CT Spawn is pretty critical, because if he sets the bomb side alight, it's going to draw one of those players out, and it's going to have quite a big impact on that round. So, but they can buy it yet again. So 7-6. We've got 2 rounds left in this half, and it's turning out to be a pretty good matchup thus far. We can see an aggressive play here onto short there from Athletico. It's Liaz going down there, getting a little bit blocked by Infrequent perhaps. Some counter grenades coming through as well. Kyoto's trying to make sure that the long isn't taken, but he's going to have to forgo it, which is going to put Infrequent in a very awkward position here with his AWP. He gets taken down there, and this faster pace has worked really, really well for the Chiefs there. In a matter of seconds, the entire team going down 1 by 1. So that's something they probably really needed in terms of momentum, being able to swing it back off into their favour. Last round.
Double AWP for the Chiefs. Triple AWP.
Well, they're probably going to try and get a tag in the middle
Tag
here.
through the wall, yeah.
Yep.
Let's wait and see how that one turns out. Nothing really to speak of. I mean, Sonic gets tagged through the doors, but we've seen that happen a few times this round, this half, and we can see.
What I find the most bizarre out of all of that is Infrequent. Here's the double AWP or triple AWP, whatever it was, and then chooses to repeat as well.
Hey, you must be pretty confident.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe...
confident is one way of putting it.
Yeah.
Overconfident, perhaps?
Perhaps overconfident.
Yep.
But now Mungo pushing through these smokes, Infrequent actually going to get the angle on him. He felt for sure Mungo might be able to grab something there, but in the end, Athletico coming up trumps. There is a good trade, though, coming out from Destiny as he is able to take down Infrequent. And now Chiefs have control of the middle area of the map. They're going to smoke through to CT. Seems like at least they're trying to fake that B push. The B
push, the mid to B that they've done on a few times, and the result is they're going up into the A site, which is clear. So this is a good read from the Chiefs, and they're going to play this one pretty well. But they've got to deal with Kyoto at long, although he's just shown his hand there. He's been sighted, so they're going to be able to adjust as necessary for the potential retake coming in.
I like that they've got Crusoe down here on the catwalk. Not sure about putting the AWP player there specifically, but at least having a player there is great positioning for the Chiefs. And really, they don't even need it at that moment as Burn and Destiny are going nuts. Liaz, though, he put a bit of excitement there for Athletico before going down. But in the end, it is going to be an 8-7 first half in the favor of Chiefs. And, well, I mean, it's a pretty standard scoreline that you'd be suspecting to see on this map. So, you know, you can't read into it too much. I think it was a pretty decent half from both teams.
Yeah, well, we basically saw first 10 rounds, it was the tale of two sides. First it was Chiefs, then it was Athletico, and then we kind of moved back into that seesaw that we sort of saw last matchup with Chiefs on train against Parallax. So perhaps a sign of things to come. Atletico do have 4 armor and a few utilities on their IGL of Sonic, and they're going to move in. By the looks of things, going to be some sort of B execute at this stage, or at least the bomb is heading towards that. Some good damage being done there on top of to Nickers and Christo, and it's going to come out mid, but it's all an exchange of frags in the other way, and we're down to a 3 versus 4.
Yeah, the Chiefs didn't buy really any utility at all. They all had armor, and as such, going to be relying on their aim. It's working out very well for them. Burn going to find a couple of frags there as well to really secure the round here for the Chiefs. And this will be 2 out of 2 pistol rounds for the Chiefs. It's essentially 6 free rounds. And, well, I mean, you can't complain about that, can you?
No, cannot at all. So, I mean, really, at the same time, we saw 4 and 3 HPs on, it was Nickers and Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if a little bit of damage, a little bit closer, it goes a slightly different way, then you're looking at a scenario there as a 5 versus 3, rather than ended up being what it was. So the T's, Atletico buying up into this one as well. Armor on everybody except for Chutch, who just has the Deagle, the Scout on Infrequent, and good play. You want to back your star player in, the guy who can make things happen for you. And I believe the lawnmower's coming back out.
Yeah, the Bison seeing a fair bit of play today, actually, comparatively to what we do usually see from it. Chriso with a nice couple of frags there with the UMP. Is going to be taken down, though, by Infrequent. It's a 2 versus 3 here. But not too bad of a result so far from Athletico. They get a couple guns out of the hands of the Chiefs and get some map control towards long.
Not really in a position to exercise that map control in any meaningful way just yet.
Yeah.
And as a result, Nickers is just trying to drop off. He realized that his focus was on long, which is also being watched from somewhere else. So Destiny has kind of popped out. He's seen the information here, and that's all he needs to do at this point. He's just delaying so that he can ensure that they have the appropriate response.
Nice little pop flash coming out, but Infrequent going to duck behind the wall there. I mean, there's 45 seconds left to play here. Destiny shoulder picking the corner there, and he's going to be charged down upon by Sonic, who does take him out, but Burn is okay there for the trade. Nikez as well, chiming in with one, and the Chiefs secure themselves around. Did lose probably a couple more players than they should have, but a round is a round, I guess, and they'll take it.
They can potentially buy in a little bit cheaply in this round as well, because I know they're going to come up against effectively nothing, given the Athletico bought into that second round of the second half, the first map of this best of 3, ESL ANZ Championships Season 1. And it looks like a fairly standard hold here for the Chiefs. 2 towards long, 1 up on the A side, 1 sort of flooding mid to B, and 1 in the back of B side there. So nothing spectacular here. And, I mean, really, Athletico aren't doing anything interesting, I feel. They're just sort of passing some time, and then they're going to run into the B-bomb site and probably going to get slaughtered.
It is Burn sitting at the back of the plat that he's going to have to do the lion's share of the work. Chriso and Burn going to be combining well. Actually, Chriso grabbing one over the other side of the map. But Burn, that's exactly what you want to see coming out from him. Some really nice work with that M4.
Not even getting close in there. That was a bit of a nothing eco from Athletico. Not too impressed by that. So, and again, Chiefs, Chris is going to hold on to this UMP, Famous on Nikez, because, I mean, money situation is not fantastic. They should be able to crank out a buy in this next round. 2 M4s on Burn and Destiny still. So, if they're able to find a weapon early on, that'll be really good for their economy. At the moment, Athletico have managed to make their way outside onto a long.
Oh, Mungo, you felt was going to get a kill there, but Liaz, with the crossfire, is going to save his teammate's life. Burn is going to get 1, but Athletico just coming up in trumps in this round. Chriso going to have to come up huge from the pit here, and he's grabbed 2. He's going to get time to reload as well. So, well, he's done what he needed to do, but if he can get anything else here, it's probably going to be a bit of a bonus. Well, as I say, that Burn goes down, so now he definitely needs to get the remaining 2 if the Chiefs hope to win this one. So it's all down onto Chriso's shoulders. Is he going to be able to find another weapon? Yes, he is, picking himself up the AK, but no real utilities to work with. So even if he, is going to try and retake this, it's going to be pretty tough getting into that B side.
Certainly doable. Chuch being on the solo HP and Infrequent being on 53 half health as well. So it's not going to take too much from Chris to be able to clutch this one out, and he definitely should be going for this one. If they can do this, it's going to be a very big momentum shift in their favour, continuing on with what they've built thus far. So,
well,
there you go.
I want to say it was a good attempt, but really, it wasn't.
It was a good attempt. It's just even better shut down by the 1 HP player of Chuch. So 11-8 is the scoreline. The Chiefs looking okay because of that cheap buy they did last round. It potentially may have cost them, in fact, the round, the fact that they were so underpowered in terms of weaponry. And now they're going to go in again with 3 Famises, but this time they have an AWB as well. So it's a better buy than they had, and Infrequent already knows where Burn is sitting. But he's going to smoke it all off. He's going to throw a grenade in there for him. It's going to do nada. Oh, sorry, it's going to do 27. I thought that the bounce, based on as it came in, the bounce, I thought it was going to bounce off Ricochet and do nothing, but like most grenades do in Counter-Strike Go at least. So not a lot of map control at this point. Obviously, Athletico are looking to push up onto the short area. In comes the set flash there. That sort of forces Mungo back down. And some counter grenades coming in as well. So all in all, a little bit of territory gain for Athletico, but can they do anything meaningful from it? We shall see.
Just spraying through the mid doors there, not really going to be able to connect onto anything here. And At the moment, Athletico really, as you mentioned, not doing a whole lot. Sitting default and waiting for the Chiefs, or waiting for the timer a little bit.
Bomb's still sitting at the top of mid here, so it's going to give them an option at least to fall back to the B side if they so choose. And it looks like one of the players, Liaz, is actually moving towards that area as well. So this could be an A fake into B, potentially a split through mid, and that's where Destiny's going to come into it. Yeah,
Sonic going to try and get in there, but Destiny gets the frag first. Infrequent able to trade it out. Chuch in the meanwhile did pick up one, and it's down to this B player. Burn, how did he survive that? Picks up the kill onto Liaz, is traded out by Kyoto, but definitely got more out of that one than he should have. Now Nikez finds himself in a 1v3, tries to get better damage across to Chuch, but again, really not able to land a whole lot. And he's going to fall back and try and save this from us.
Probably try and find a slightly better weapon that might be lying around there. I think that's what he's going to do now. And he picks up the AWP, which is very good economically speaking, so that's handy at least, even if they didn't get the desired result within this round. They are going to be able to move forward with AWP, provided that Athletico don't come and find his hiding spot up on the A-bombs. Mind you, it's not a great hiding spot.
No, it's kind of like, hey guys, I'm here.
Yeah, well, he is holding an angle, so we'll give him that. Slowly but surely, Athletico are putting together a pretty reasonable half here on the T side. See who, if Nikez rolls with that or whether he throws it onto somebody else. I would imagine having the armor, that would be the choice.
It would make sense. Yeah. Actually, Nikez is the only one that we haven't really seen pick up the AWP today so far for the Chiefs. So we'll see how he goes with it. And starting off well, takes out Infrequent.
Did get tagged down to 18, but that's all right. He's going to throw it onto Destiny now so he can have a crack. Being full health, but no armor. So 4 versus 4, so not really a great result thus far.
Where is Destiny with that AWP? Hanging around in CT spawn, I think he's trying to pick up towards the bomb site, but hasn't spotted anyone out just yet. Mungo's going to go down to Kyoto. Destiny still trying to make his way to the site. Needs to be careful he doesn't push too far out into long and get taken out by Liaz or something like that. But in the end, actually, Kyoto is going to be the one to take his head off. And no one from the Chiefs able to retrieve that AWP at the moment. Nikez is able to pick up 1 kill there with the USP. Burn as well, finding another from Chuch. And all of a sudden now the Chiefs might have an opportunity here. It's going to be incredibly tough. They don't have a huge amount of time to play with, but Nikez has retrieved that AWP. Not going to be able to do much with it. Sonic and Liaz shutting that one down for Athletico, and 10 on the board now.
Yeah, it might have been an idea there, despite there being an opening potentially win the round. The percentage of you actually going through and winning that round was pretty low for them. Yeah. Maybe grab that AWP and hightail it back for this particular gun round, because you look now, they're all super low on cash. And AWP can play a very big part in a Counter-Strike match, particularly on a map like Dust 2. As we can see, Infrequent has been doing a pretty good job thus far with it for Athletico, who are only 1 round behind now, Chiefs. And after it was an 8-7 start, so Chiefs going away pretty well towards the start of this half, but Athletico finding their way back into it, which is good to see.
Certainly is. Kyoto pushing or taking down Mungo, who rather was pushing. Chriso is able to trade one out onto Sonic. Again, though, not going to be enough as Athletico responds straight away. It seems like, there'll be a trade of frags, and then Athletico just absolutely come in and grab, 2 or 3 in a row very quickly as a result of that trade. And that's how things have been going in the second half here for Athletico. Certainly working out well for them at the moment. However, they are going to have to go up against Burn, who has been the player of the moment for the Chiefs.
Destiny was looking the wrong way right then. He could have had easy shots into the back to all 3 players of Athletico as they rotated through the B tunnels. He was at the T spawn. I think his idea was, I'm going to go save this, or he probably got fooled there and thinking they're going towards A rather than B, based on the information that they gave away. And Burn gets the kill there. So it's a 2 versus 2, and it's pretty much equal hit points, really, when you look at things.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised here to actually see the Chiefs try and go for this one. I know Burn's pretty low. Should get taken out here by Kyoto, and in the end, he does. Destiny, though, in the 1v2, you can never count him out. He finds the first and gets a fair amount of damage onto Kyoto there, but Kyoto holding his cool, picks up the kill, and now Athletico equalize.
Right, is this the point where we get the tack pause? It'll be after this round. If it's going to come in from Chiefs, the eco into the tack pause. We'll see whether it happens or not, because at the moment they're getting rolled over by the Brotherhood.
Yeah, they certainly are. That doesn't seem to be really any kind of response at the moment from the Chiefs. They're just really sort of rolling over almost. Now Destiny is trying to peek into the upper tunnels, gets a lot of damage across, and Burn actually able to find a kill there onto Chuch. We've seen some amazing stuff from Burn with that Deagle so far today, and well, it continues for the moment. Destiny is going to go down, but Nikez in a reasonably interesting position isn't going to be able to take out the kill there on Kyoto, who picks up a clean frag.
It's a 4 versus 3, but all the favour in Athletico Brotherhood when it comes to utility. But a lot of map knowledge has been gained here by Mungo, so he's going to be able to relay this information. But at the same time, Athletico, they've got a lot of time to waste. A minute left on the clock still. And taking down another player there. So Mungo's going to come back in to support his hombre, Chris, at B.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a reasonably okay read from the Chiefs. Mungo at the moment hanging around towards the B site still, but Athletico deciding we're going to throw a few utilities in here and just run back over towards the A site. A good decision from them, as both those players from the Chiefs still sitting over towards B. You can see finally now Mungo starting to rotate in towards CT spawn, but I mean, really, I guess we're...
Such a long rotate. He probably could scratch his head for about 15 seconds
Yeah.
before Athletico could actually make it their way onto the A bomb site, which they're going to do now. They have plenty of utilities as well, so they won't take any chances here. Flash across there just to make sure, and they're trying to use their range of their rifles here up against the pistols of Chris and Mungo, although Chris has now picked up his UMP. Sonic takes out Mungo down at the long bomb site, oh, sorry, that long area, and Chris will probably try and get an exit frag here to upgrade his UMP to something with a little more
oomph.
Yeah. Oomph. Oomph.
Oomph.
A little more oomph.
Ump.
A little more oomph.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't even think he's going to get that, to be honest. It seems like he's just content to keep a hang of the UMP here and allow Athletico to survive. As I say that, though, he starts to make his way in towards bedroom, so maybe he is going to go for this.
It would make sense too. I mean, he hasn't put any investment into this round other than a small amount, so if you can just take a weapon off somebody, then that would be good for them, but it's not to be the case. Leo's taking care of him towards the end of that round there. So 12-11 now. Will we see the tack pause, or a Chief just going to roll in? And now that they've got a very strong economy to the start of the round, they're able to afford all the utilities.
And the AWP.
And the AWP for Burn as well, who, by the way, is on 25 frags, leading all comers in the server.
Certainly been stepping up for the Chiefs in the last couple of games, but Destiny is going to go down there. Chriso trades out, almost in danger of being traded himself, and in the end he does get traded. Athletico getting the better of it as they get the free frags against the two. Sonic is going to grab one here. He does onto Nikez, and it's a 1v2 here for Burn. Only the AWP to use, really, for him here. I mean, he's got the utilities, but no backup from any of his teammates. And down against those two Athletico Brotherhood players who are making their way towards the B-bomb site. Wonder
if Burn can actually hear what they were doing from there. He is moving back towards the B-bomb side, but again, it's going to be the super long rotation. So have a look at the scenery, ladies and gentlemen. You can see here through T-spawn. A couple of bits of graffiti, some old cars, while we wait for these guys to decide where they want to go in the end. Burn still just chilling.
I guess why we've got this little bit of a downtime, I find it interesting that Chiefs actually did allow the Dust 2 to get through the veto process, because, you know, throughout the last couple of months, or at least the last month, Dust 2 has been their go-to veto. So
yeah, but they're leaving something like Overpass in. That's what they vetoed instead. So I guess the choice is, like, you can aim out this map if you want to. You know, take it in terms of, like, try and pug it as best you can and take aim jewels. They're going to back their aim in. They're confident people. We've seen Burn do a lot of damage with the AWP, and precisely done 0 with the AWP and 14 with his pistol there. So I can understand the intent behind the Chiefs pick, or the Chiefs veto of Overpass allowing Dust 2 into the map, and I can understand why Athletico want to pick it as well, because it's something they're going to be very comfortable on. Yeah. And it's something that at the moment they have a 2-round lead, 13-11, and a lot of momentum in their favour.
Yeah, the AWP ringing out in towards mid again from Infrequent, not going to be taking him up from the Chiefs, and we can see the Chiefs have decided to invest a little bit in terms of the pistols and utilities into this round, but really probably not going to do a whole lot. Destiny getting tagged through the wall there.
Vac
Yeah, indeed. 17 HP left on Destiny. Burn already dropped down to 67 as well. So the start of this round has not been kind to the Chiefs.
No, and it's going to put them in that 14-11 scenario. But because it's an eco, they will have some cash to play with and potentially have an impact on a round as Athletico move their way up on short. And they're going to try and use that AWP of infrequent to get another pick and open up the bomb site. Little do they know that they're picking the site with all 4 players left alive, the Chiefs, on it. Infrequent getting tagged down there. So he's on 14 now, but he's not too worried. Safety in numbers, I feel. Kyoto picking up another frag on Destiny there as well. He's just poking, looking for information, trying to figure out what this Athletico team are doing now that they've slowed down the pace somewhat.
Athletico playing this one pretty well, not really pushing into the Chiefs one by one. They're allowing the Chiefs, in fact, to come in to them one by one. And Chiefs certainly obliging Athletico Brotherhood, now sitting on 14 rounds. And the Chiefs, well, they're going to be able to buy into this one, but this is basically their last chance for this map.
Yeah. It's been a fairly even effort across the board for Athletico in terms of fragging. The lowest on 16, the highest on 20. A little bit disappointing performance here from Mungo. He's probably let his form from his previous matchup slip down. He's only got 8 frags thus far. But if the time to step up is now, then that's a pretty good time when they are almost on the ropes of the first map.
Well, they certainly are on the ropes at the moment. The Chiefs down 3 rounds and things getting towards the pointier end of the map here. And Athletico, once again, just playing this slow style, which has been working out so well for them of late. And letting Infrequent just try and peek in towards mid and see if he can grab a pick, which at the moment is not going to be happening.
I feel like what Petty brought up in the pre-game about Infrequent being the dedicated AWP, and rather on the Chiefs side, doesn't seem to be, sort of is. Chris is typically their dedicated AWPer, so Nick is getting the first tag there. He's going to get flashed out. Can do a little bit of damage here. Gets Infrequent there. It's a great 3K from him, and Mungo coming in to chime in with one as well. So Chutch last alive, the only person for Athletico in the mid, and this much better round there from Chiefs, obviously, but basically came off the back of a nice 3K from Nickez rather than necessarily being a team-orientated thing. So it was a big play coming out from him.
Yep.
But getting back to what I was talking about before that, Jordan, Infrequent being the dedicated AWP, I feel like it has had quite an impact on Dust 2 here because of the pressure or the presence that it brings. He hasn't necessarily been, he hasn't set the world on fire with it in this map, but you feel like Chiefs are, on occasions, are sort of playing a little bit less aggressively than we have seen them previously, and that's holding them back there. So again, he starts off the round with a pick there, but a trade has been made in favour.
Yes, it's a 4v4 here, but still that situation should favour the Athletico Brotherhood, and now it definitely will as Kyoto is able to find Chriso. Now, suddenly, one of the bomb sites only has one player on it, and it's Destiny actually up towards B, holding very close to this smoke. Almost looks like he wants to push through it, which may not necessarily actually be the worst idea at this point.
At the moment it would be because Kyoto's watching the angle. And then, as we can see here, Mungo poking out, getting taken down by Liaz, but the trade comes in from Nickez. So we're into a 2 versus 3 scenario, and Destiny could be on a really important lurk here.
Certainly could be, and he did choose the correct time to push through that smoke. Is going to be able to catch Sonic off guard. Nickez now has to find one here if he wants to make the round significantly easier here for the Chiefs. Not going to quite happen, but does deny the bomb plant somewhat. Destiny is going to go down now. Kyoto on 6 HP is going to be able to land the shot anyway, and that's 15 on the board now for Athletico, who are poised to take map 1 here against the Chiefs.
Yeah, looking at a lot more asserted in the mid-round scenarios there. That's something that was a problem for them yesterday and a problem for them earlier as well. But now they're looking in those scenarios where it's 3 versus 3, mid to late round. They're looking very comfortable now. So potentially on the comeback train within the tournament as well. But I'm probably getting ahead of myself a little bit here. They've still got to close out this and another map before they can progress.
They certainly do, but they are impressing me at the moment. I mean, I did predict Chiefs 2-0, but well, we'll see. I guess that's probably
curse for Chiefs.
It could still happen, but I'm finding it a little bit unlikely right now, the way Athletico are playing and the way Chiefs really seem to have no answer for it. So, well, we'll see if Burn can find a pick here, but really I'd expect it's probably going to be Infrequent, if anyone, to start off this round.
Burn just anchoring down in the B and mid area. He does have Destinies to support him in CT spawn. He's posted up on the box in that close right corner as he come out mid doors as a terrorist. And other than that, Athletico, what they're doing at the moment is they're just waiting for, sorry, it's Chris up here. They're just waiting for Chiefs to make another mistake, to step out and to try and punish that. But at the moment, Chiefs are a little bit scared because of that 15-12 scoreline to expose themselves and take a risk here.
Burn has spotted out Sonic here and gets a shot off. Doesn't manage to land it, though. And Sonic will be able to get out of there okay. Athletico, or the rest of Athletico, rather, just at the moment making their way up towards the A-bomb side. It's down to Destiny now to find a couple of frags here. He does have a bit of backup on long, but they won't be able to help him on this entry here. He gets the spray down onto Liaz eventually, but Kyoto is able to take him down as a result. Chriso does manage to trade out, but again, another trade there for Athletico, and the bomb is going to go down here with 20 seconds left on the timer. It's a 3 for 3, and the retake going to try and come out here from the Chiefs. Mungo completely whiffing that spray down. Infrequent finding 2 kills with the AWP, and I guess that's the map really here, unless Burn decides to go absolutely crazy, which we've seen him do, but it's going to be tough now, especially considering he's been legged up there by Infrequent, down to that 2 HP. What else can he do here but really peeking towards that position, and that is it.
That's pretty critical for Athletico to take the first map. It's going to give them a lot of belief that they are going to be able to take down this experienced Chief squad. So really nice play there from Athletico overall. They didn't get the good start that they were probably hoping for, but we saw their mid to late round performances being a lot better from them than we have seen previously.
Yeah, certainly was a pretty good performance there from Athletico. I mean, they did look a little bit shaky towards the start, but I guess once they got the ball rolling, they got a little bit more comfortable on the stage. Things started to work out pretty well for them. And I mean, I guess you can argue that the Chiefs were probably already warmed up. They might have been ready to play, and that might have been why we saw that early spurt of rounds go in the favor of the Chiefs there. But, you know, again, Athletico came back and brought the goods. Yeah,
they certainly did, and a lot more composed. And really, they weren't panicking at all. They were just sort of, when they got a kill early in the round, they were happy to just sort of to let Chiefs try and you know, break in somewhere, let them come to them, particularly on the T side. So this is when the Chiefs at the CT. So they're making the Chiefs make the plays because they're starting to feel uncomfortable with that number down scenario, and they kept capitalising on that. So well played, Athletico, and certainly going to be an interesting series.
Okay, guys, we are going to head to a quick break, but we'll be back very shortly with the Analyst Desk, so stay tuned. Analyst Desk coming up after this.
The Counter-Strike Global Offensive. We are in our lower bracket final. The Chiefs up against Athletico. PDG, Athletico picked up that game. They came through their choice of Dust too. How do you feel the boys went?
Mate, they killed it. And I thought that the map would unfold exactly that way, but for Chiefs.
Okay.
So I thought that Chiefs would get off to a good start, and then sort of Athletico would come back through the middle, but then Chiefs would finish off the stronger and ultimately win the map. What ended up happening was Chiefs did start strong. Athletico had a strong middle part, which I sort of predicted, but then the patience and the confidence for Athletico to close out that half in the end to win the map. We didn't see it at all from them yesterday, obviously.
Yeah, well, they didn't really get an opportunity to.
They didn't have the confidence to start, let alone finish.
They got 3 rounds in a whole series. So, I mean, you can't predict a team that does that to come back and do this. But, hey, they did, so...
They did.
Pumped up.
Indeed. And you were saying earlier as well that you felt that Athletico on T side of Dust was their better side. So they came through. They had a pretty good T half, don't you think, Jim?
Oh, 100%. Look, it started well on that CT side. That CT side, they got all 7 rounds in one big run. And that really put Chiefs on the back foot. Luckily, Chiefs were able to wrestle momentum back a little bit and contest that halftime score, bring it 8-7. But after then, Athletico were well into that match. They were comfortable. They'd already got their bad side out of the way. And from there, they never really looked back.
And it puts them in a really good spot coming into this next game. Let's take a look at a replay from Dust 2. We have Liaz here. He picks up one, finds the second. Very, very nice work dropping the bomb carrier in that situation. Peter, the Chiefs, they've come through. I think even though they lost to Parallax, they were probably feeling okay coming into this game. Is this going to hurt them?
Unfortunately for Chiefs, I think they played their final against Parallax. And particularly, And unfortunately for someone like Mungo, who has a fantastic weekend, he has a great day yesterday. He needed to not be the guy carrying him through that second map. He was the carry player through that Mirage map. And I think that for someone who doesn't play a lot of Counter-Strike at the moment, at least, it's very, very difficult to have that game and then lose a series. Because if you're Mungo, you kind of want to be like, well, I'm here to help out and stuff. And if I go really big and I win a map, I need my teammates to be able to close out that series. So after they lost the series to Parallax, it's likely we're going to see Chiefs go off a cliff. I didn't think we would because of Destiny and Burn and all those skilled players we keep talking about. But on the flip side, I mean, Chriso was nowhere to be seen. Mungo was nowhere to be seen.
True. There was a bit of banding coming across from Athletico over to Chris, and
they couldn't hear it.
They couldn't hear it, but it was there. It was there. The sentiment was there.
Yep.
Let's take a look at some of the plays from Burn from this game. I think he picks up a 4-piece here, and he was so nicely set up. And you said at the time, what you can say what you said.
Well, this was patience, really. How many players would sit from the back of platform and just spray their entire clip and end up using the pistol to try and get 4 remaining frags?
Yeah.
It was simple for him. So yeah, it was quite a nice piece of patience.
It was. Now, Dust 2 was Atletico's pick.
Yep.
They came through, they picked it up. We're heading on to Train, which is the Chiefs' pick. Now, this morning, Atletico picked Train against XL5 and went into double overtime.
Yep.
Do you think that's going to be on their mind?
It's a 50-50 because after Athletico eventually won in double overtime, they did rewind back to a couple of rounds where they were well in front in regulation, and they sort of picked apart where they went wrong. So hopefully they can take the lessons that they learnt from being ahead this morning against Exile 5 and falling into a bit of a hole, managing their money better. And the most important thing for these guys, their use of utility in this series has been a vast improvement. Against Exile 5, every player was getting caught with a grenade.
Okay.
Like, they were dying and they still had 2 flashes and a grenade when they died. It was unacceptable. They weren't utilizing that sort of equipment. And against Chiefs, then they did a great job of doing so.
Jim, I think Peter makes a good point that at some point, in that overtime, the first 3 rounds of overtime was XL5 playing some of the best Counter-Strike we saw XL5 play all weekend. And then Chiefs managed to do the same and then bring it back. Sorry, Atletico managed to do the same, bring it back, and at the end of the day, they won. So on this map, do you think that Atletico can take it to Chiefs here as well? Do you feel?
I think they can. I definitely think that they can. I just don't think they're going to have the patience sometimes to get the frags. I think sometimes they will overpeak. They will overextend themselves in crucial points and essentially lose their lives unnecessarily. So I think it's shown a little bit in their gameplay. I'll quickly dial it back to Dust 2 there. They've shown a lot of maturity in these sort of situations. The kinds of rounds that were going their way yesterday against Parallax were going their way. There was a round there where Chuch was on 1 HP and it was a 3 versus 2. He picks up 2 of those frags, stays alive, and they win that round. That's the sort of things that were going their way that weren't going their way yesterday.
And it helps you win games, of course, doesn't it?
100%.
So
helps you get rounds in games.
Yeah. You guys both, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, said that Chiefs were going to pick this up 2-1. Is this here the game Dust 2? Is that the map that Atletico wins and then loses to? Or are you going to change your mind, Peter? I'm giving you the opportunity to do a Mike star.
Well, no, I don't want to do a Mike star, but I did say whoever won the first map will win the series. So I'm still confident in that pick.
Okay.
And I think that Atletico can close out on Train. I think they've learnt enough from this morning in versing XL5. The other really important aspect for Atletico is that when you look at the score distribution of frags across the board, they really did a great job of everyone was contributing. It wasn't one guy just doing it. It was a team effort. It was a concerted effort to get everyone involved. And we sort of framed Atletico as a individual, very frag-heavy team. But if you're getting that sort of distribution, it's clear that everyone's getting involved and there's more teamwork than maybe meets the eye. So I think that leaning more on the distribution of kills, Atletico has a chance.
That's right. I think when I'd made my prediction of Chiefs, and I think it was based on the fact that not all of it, Atletico was showing up.
Yeah.
On that map, they all showed up. And that showed me that they did actually have the composure to put it together under pressure. And I think this is the pressure game. I didn't predict them to take this map, but I still think that Chiefs will turn things back around. So if it does go to that third map, I just think Chiefs will have that much of a steamroll.
Okay.
That they'll find their way through to the final.
All right, well, I guess it's time to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2 in the best of 3 here between the Chiefs and Atletico. If the Chiefs lose, they're out. If Atletico wins, they progress through to this afternoon's grand final up against Parallax. Are the likes of Byrne and Chris Awell, they're going to be able to bring this back? I'm going to throw it over to Elfish Guy and Mike Starr, and they'll take us through it.
Thanks, Sam. And yes, you're right. It is do or die now for the Chiefs. One map is all that, I guess, really stands between them and being evicted from this tournament. So trying times now for the Chiefs. They're going to have to dig deep and find something. I mean, there was some good performances in that last map from Destiny and Byrne. I felt were doing okay. But some other team members maybe need to step up a little bit.
Yeah, it was probably fleeting. It was cameos, really, I guess, from number players. Mungo being the least frequent of cameos on that map. He was really needs to step up his performance, and we've seen him do it. But again, it's been consistency for him in fragging across entire tournaments, and that's what he hasn't been able to bring in the past, and that's really what's happening again here. So going on to the Chief map pick now as well onto Train. It'll be interesting as well. So hopefully we can get a little bit more well-rounded performance from all the Chief members. It's obviously something that Athletico achieved on Dust 2.
Yeah, Train is a map that the guys from Chiefs are actually picking quite a lot in sort of the Dexter era of the Chiefs. And, I mean, since then it's kind of hard to read. There hasn't been that long of a time after the Dexter era. But I certainly felt like Train was actually quite a good map for them when Dexter was the in-game leader here. So hopefully, at least for the Chiefs here, they've been able to, I guess, continue some of that over into this new lineup that they've got going for them. So, I mean, I feel somewhat confident for the Chiefs here. But then again, Atletico didn't look necessarily too bad against XL5 on this map either. I mean, they did go to overtime.
Twice.
But, well, you're correct, twice. But, well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. This looks like the Chiefs are going to go for a reasonably similar pistol round to what they did earlier on in this tournament as well. Going to get those smokes over towards the A site and head in that direction. The bomb's going to go down here for Niquez unless he gets spammed through the smoke, which he does. That's happened so much today.
Now the pressure is back onto the Chiefs to get one there. Kyoto coming through and flanking Destiny, and Byrne going doan as well there. So this looks like it's all Athletico. Mungo's the last alive. He's got 3 to take down. They're all around him, and he is stuck in the middle and ultimately pays the price.
Yeah, I'm not so sure about these smoke plans coming out from a lot of these teams. It seems like they're getting punished for it quite a lot. I mean, Athletico got punished for it quite a lot by Ferg, specifically on XR5. You know, there seems to be some sort of...
Well, I guess Train, coming up to now, I mean, Train's been in the map pool for quite a few months now, and people are going to start to learn as they play it more and more, and they're going to learn all their angles and know where the common plant spots are, and that was a very common plant spot as well along that line of the Train. So smart play there from Kyoto doing the tap, 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 and he picks up the first of this round as well. We can hear the stapler going off in the background from Liaz, or infrequent, one of the two.
Yeah, Destiny trying to get some damage across with the P250, and you would have thought, oh, that looks like a good shot, but Counter-Strike is as Counter-Strike does, and all the bullets go
such a
nowhere.
range.
Yeah.
He was shooting all the way down to the other end of the map there, so
yeah.
You're going to lose the range there, and the P250 is a great weapon at very close range as the bomb drops in the mid there. Chris picking up the first one for the round as well, so we're in a 4 versus 3 in favour of Athletico.
Liaz gets a 2-man spray down there. Niquez and Crisso going to be going down. Mungo once again finding himself on his lonesome, and he goes down there. So Athletico getting themselves 2-0 up, and I guess we're kind of just really at the stage of really the formality rounds now.
Formality? You're calling it already.
Atletico have won the pistol. They've got a couple rounds to get
rounds
through here before the Chiefs are able to really fight back.
Trying to put words in your mouth there, and it wasn't working out for me. So yeah, another full eco here, or a full eco here from the Chiefs eSports Club, and it looks like they're going to come out with a little bit more intent, perhaps just willing to get this one over and done with. That Molotov comes through and stops any progression, as they have no armor and they would burn in seconds. Infrequent getting Mungo.
Yeah, Liaz is going to be spraying away with the UMP there. Sonic is also going to come in and grab a couple kills for himself.
Well, Liaz only got that one at the end there.
Yeah, I know.
He did all the work and didn't get any of the reward.
Yeah.
Oh, well. So, first proper gun round, and Chiefs opting, due to the money scenario, or rather being forced by the money scenario, to go with 5 AKs. Infrequent being able to pull out the AUG and full utilities as well, so this is boding pretty well. And they're also running with 3 FAMASs and the UMP, so opting to have the cash left over, potentially another buy in the following round there. So Infrequent going very aggressive here, but there's no Chief members whatsoever. They've tried to push out mid and through Pop Dog.
Yeah, it does seem like the Chiefs are definitely favouring that A-bomb side at the moment. Haven't even really been interested in B at all so far. We're into the 4th round here, but Kyoto is going to start off onto Burn. Destiny up towards the green train, does find one, but his teammates are falling below, or falling beside him, and eventually he will go down as well to Infrequent. Chriso, the remaining player for the Chiefs, gets absolutely demolished.
Oh.
And Kyoto, that's a little embarrassing. Sorry, that was on stream.
That's horrendous.
When he watches the VOD back, he's going to be having his head in his hands.
Yep. A little bit too keen to get down and get towards one of the weapons. He was trying to upgrade there, and instead it's cost him money.
Yeah.
He is down on the cash shoulder.
That's what you get for being greedy.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't cost him in the long run. So fairly reasonable economic situation for Athletico, and they're starting off this map, how they finished the last, in pretty fine fashion. 4-zip is the scoreline.
Yeah, Leah's charging right into Pop Dog. He's going to find himself some nice eco slaw. 2 easy kills onto Nikez and Destiny, and Frequent as well, able to clean up Burn. And a bit of a nothing round coming out here from the Chiefs. It didn't really seem like they were going to get anything from that. I mean, it's kind of hard when you lose a couple of players straight off the bat.
Yeah. And you have no weapons.
Yeah.
And no armor. All you have is a dream, and the dream is shattered. And Chris now makes noise.
I don't know if anyone would have heard him there, and actually manages to get the kill onto Liaz, but Infrequent is there with the AWP covering the angle. 5 on the board already here for Athletico. We haven't seen Chiefs yet head towards the B side as well, so I think that's something they can explore at least. You know, even if they're not necessarily going to attack the B-bomb site, maybe just try and get a bit of pressure over to the B-bomb site, put some doubt in the minds of Athletico. At the moment, they're just charging straight into that A-bomb site and getting slaughtered.
Yep, something certainly needs to change, and change has been made in terms of the equipment as well. The Destiny picking up the AWP, and he's looking like he's heading towards... Is he going to go down for the ladder? I think he is at this stage, and that's a nice little nade going deep into the mid area of bomb site A.
Didn't do any damage though.
Yeah, that's what happens when you call a grenade nice. It looked good.
Yeah.
It's a good throw at least.
Yeah, the CTs have good arms.
Been in the gym. And again, it's just a walkout from mid, and well, the trade comes in, so we're back to a 4 versus 4 at least.
Once again, the Chiefs just going straight towards that A bomb site. Destiny now scoping out with the AWP. He's spotted out one Mungo in the meanwhile. Was able to pick up Infrequent. Chriso picks up Liaz as well, and I guess if it's not working, just keep trying, and eventually it's going to work. As the Chiefs finally should be able to find themselves around here, barring some crazy shenanigans by Chutch, who's pulled out his deagle, and looks like he's going to run away and try and maybe fake out something for the Chiefs here, try and have someone chase him up the ladder there, but wasn't to be. The Chiefs just content to sit on that site. Actually, a couple of them now making their way out towards B, and you can see Nikez heading towards the T spawn.
They want blood.
What happens now if Chutch picks up Mungo and defuses the bomb? No, he's got no time. But
I'd say the rotation would come through and it'd be fairly easily diffused. And it looks like Nikez might pick him up after all. So, Chiefs' first round gets notched up onto the board in the 6th round of the second map. But that's not going to play too much on the minds of Athletico just now, because they have a wealth of money, which is a weird sentence. Plenty of cash, and they're going to buy up into this round. So trying to avoid an economic reset will be the Chiefs. See if they can string 2 in a row. And they'll probably roll with a fairly similar strategy to what they did initially. And Chris nullifies that rather expensive Molotov straight off the bat. And Destiny gets a pick already. So this is very good again by the Chiefs, and they're really just walking out.
yeah, they certainly are. It's working out okay for them so far. They've got some smokes covering off the angles. Burn able to get a second for the Chiefs. And Destiny finding the third onto Liaz, as they now have complete or almost complete control of that A bomb site. Chutch, the remaining player here for Athletico, trying to hold desperately onto the bomb train, but is going to go down there to Destiny.
Frequent.
Well, it did his best.
Was it?
No.
Was it his best?
That
I don't feel
that
like
was
it
me
was his
being
best.
facetious.
Oh, I see. I missed your sarcasm.
Yes,
Is this going to set them back onto an eco?
looks like it.
Looks like they're going for a pistol armor buy. So that'll be 3rd round lost. So they'll be picking up 2,400 at the end of the round, which means Frequent. He'll get dropped on AWP, I suspect, from Chutch anyway. So it will be a purchase in the next round of strong variety for Athletico. But in the meantime, again, all the Chiefs want to do is just walk out various aspects. And at the moment, they're being allowed to do so.
Oh! That was a nice looking grenade, but I mean, could have done a little bit more to make it a bit more exciting. Still, the kills are going in the way of the Chiefs, and that's what matters here. And interesting that we're seeing somewhat of a mirror here from the previous match. 5-0 straight away for one side, and then what seems like a pretty convincing response from the other side. So we'll see if Chiefs can get to that 5 mark as well.
I feel like Athletico needs to just to vary how they're holding this A site a little bit. Petey spoke about the use of utility was greatly improved from Dust 2 previously, and that's not really showing at the moment on the CT side here on Train. The last few rounds at least, what the Chiefs are doing, they're basically walking out just all three, you know, through Ivy, through Pop Dog, whatever it happens to be. Perhaps a few earlier smokes just to at least stop the momentum and change the tempo of that particular round.
Yeah, it looks like Chiefs finally starting to at least realize that the B side is actually a thing. They've got some control of the brown halls here, and Athletico.
One of them's gone.
Wait, hang on.
What's down there?
Yeah. What if we go this way?
But why would you when you're doing this? I mean, look at Nick has just picked up 2 great kills, almost the third, putting down the Az to 37 as well. So, but I mean, why would you go for the B bomb site when A bomb site has been so readily available to you?
Yeah, Chuch though, getting a good frag onto Mungo off camera. Infrequent was able to pick up Burn, and Athletico back to that advantageous position, 3 versus 2. Destiny with the bomb going to opt to head back over towards that A bomb site. The backup of Chriso already there. And it does look like they should be able to get a bomb down here pretty safely, unless Infrequent is able to pull something out of his hat.
He's not wearing a hat, Jordan, so he'll have to wait for the retake where they have the number advantage scenario. 2 AWPs as well, not the ideal defending location, but Destiny's getting some work done.
Destiny is as Destiny does, now down to Chriso in a 1 versus 1 against Liaz, who's on 37 HP, but Liaz playing very aggressively. Chriso knows exactly where he is. Liaz making so much noise, but he has managed to dink up Chriso down to 10 HP, and this should be a frag for Liaz, but in the end, Chriso gets it done under pressure, and the round goes in the favor of the Chiefs.
Barely even face.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't even look like he cared.
Give me the bump. Got the bump in the end.
Yeah.
Fist bump. Yeah. Probably another scenario where Athletico should have closed that one out there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was an interesting round. We can certainly put that one down. Despite having a lot of success on the A-bomb side, they headed towards B, Chiefs it was. Somehow sort of got away with it in the end, really.
Because once again going to get the entry frag onto the A-bomb site, finding himself a second. It is an eco round here for Athletico, and Chiefs going to be taking full advantage of that, finding themselves a very easy round. And again, we're going to see that 5-5 situation that we saw on the last map. This time, however, Chiefs are the one with momentum.
Athletico choosing to run with the AWP again. They've got, I have to give them credit in terms of money management because they're all buying no helmets, and they're ecoing properly to afford a full range of utilities to try and stave off the Chiefs. It's just hope for their sake that they're able to use them a little better than they have and perhaps set off some choke points so that they can stop the instances where Nickers walks out and finds a double kill, or where Destiny drops down the ladder and just pops out with an AWP and gets a pick. So that's what they've got to try and avoid doing at this stage. But Chiefs are varying it up, their attack again, so we can see them moving towards the B-bomb site. And in this case,
Burn just getting clobbered.
Yeah, he was the one getting caught with his utility out.
Indeed he was, and this, for the first time in a fair while, is going to be Athletico going into this one with an advantage in the round. Kyoto will bring one onto Destiny as well. It's 3 versus 4 now, as Nikaz, he's going to have to come up with a couple of entries onto the A-bomb site, but it's not going to happen. Chuch takes him down. Mungo is able to trade him out, and Chriso finding one onto Infrequent as well, but it's not going to be enough as Chriso goes down to Liaz, who finds himself a double kill in that round, and Athletico Brotherhood strikes back 6-5. They're back in the lead.
But this is a very critical round for them, because if they lose that, the money gets reset, and they will have not even enough money for Jam, Jordan. Not even enough money for Jam. So full buy will be able to come out of this round for Chiefs. As you can see, Chris still working with the AWP and full utility on all of their players. And it looks like he's going to try and play a little bit defensively and probably trying to negate this push from Infrequent that has come out infrequently.
Yeah, well, I guess it's worked out here for Infrequent in that situation. Gets the early pick once again. And now the Chiefs.
I question the point of Chris sitting there if Munga's going to push up and watch an angle that isn't being covered by Chris.
Yeah, well, that just may be a lack of, I guess, experience together as a team or communication. So something going wrong at the moment now for the Chiefs as Athletico starting to pull ahead again. Infrequent picks up a kill onto Niquez. And it's 4v3. Destiny will be able to trade back, and it's 3 versus 3 now. Burns going to get a great position there behind the bomb train. All of a sudden, a couple of kills going in the favor of the Chiefs, and Chuch fighting himself alone on that B bomb site up against the 3 Chiefs members.
Lonely, he's so lonely. No?
I don't know. Lost for words.
Lost for words? It was a song, mate.
I know.
Yeah.
You
haven't heard it?
Stick to your day job.
Maybe
I should stick to my day job, which is unfortunately this, because it's not working out too well for me right now.
No, words. Jordan, use them, I suggest.
Yeah, I try sometimes.
Sometimes. We'll wait for Chuch to wait this one out. And that's, as I said at the start of the round, it's going to be pretty critical for Athletico to win this one, and it hasn't happened. So they're going to have not much to spend, and that's going to be another free round towards, well, it's going to be a round towards Chiefs, and it should be another round after that. 6 apiece.
6 apiece indeed. Atletico starting to, well, faltering, I guess, again.
They called for a timeout? Well, somebody's called for a timeout. I'm going to assume it's
CT
Athletico. Oh,
yeah.
good. Yep.
So that's interesting. It's
It's a good opportunity.
There's only a few rounds left in the half, though.
Well, it's scoreline 6 apiece. They're going to lose this one. It's an eco round. Well, it's highly likely they're going to lose this. So that's going to be 6-7. If they can win the next 2, they can talk about it and win the next 2 and take away a small lead.
Yeah.
That's going to have a very positive impact on them mentally, looking at the scoreboard and seeing that, yeah, look, we started all right, we faltered, but we did end up winning that half. That's going to be pretty important for them, particularly as a young side. Less experienced than the Chiefs. They're going to want to have those sorts of things going for them.
Yeah, and
whereas
I mean,
Chiefs just, they're chilling.
Yeah, they certainly don't seem too phased at all by anything that's going on at the moment, the Chiefs. I don't even think they're really having any serious discussions. Athletico, on the other hand, you can see definitely having a bit of a discussion. That's Sonic there leading the troops.
He's really...
I'd love to be able to hear what they're saying.
That would be
I mean, in
cool.
theory, I could if I took my headset off, but I'd have to stop talking for that, so probably not the best of ideas.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds all right for a little bit.
Wow. It's a little bit harsh.
Is it?
So from here on out, Athletico, is there anything in particular that you may have noticed that they might be wanting to change up? I mean,
more headshots?
More headshots?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's always an easy one.
Yeah.
I haven't even really noticed what they've been doing on the B-bomb. So have they been having a single player? Did you notice holding that B site? Because, I mean, really, the Chiefs haven't ever
generally
gone there. It's just once.
Yeah, generally it's been... they hold 2 there initially, I think, and that could probably drop off to provide a little bit more support on the A-bomb site. So you have the scenario there where you have your player right at the start come out through into the mid-con, throw down their smoke, cover off a checkpoint, and they sit tight. And then they can just drop back even into mid-connector so that the rotation there is quite quick.
Yeah.
So options there for them, but really they're just sort of getting exposed there from a lot of different angles. So they need to make sure that they're communicating between each other and making sure that they're talking about what angles that they are going to cover. And they've actually bought into this round, and I am not a fan because they had no money, and they're not going to be able to buy next round. So they're throwing, well, they don't win this round, they're throwing away the next round easily as well, whereas they could probably have bought next round. Would have preferred to see a lighter investment rather than the full armor. But I guess they've backed the fact that Chuch has the M4 and hoping that he can get some work done. And he is hiding on the inside bomb side by himself, although now Gyoto is joining him.
Yeah, well, it is going to need to be Chuch to do something here. I mean, it's well and good to say, sure, these pistols can get frags, but really, the M4 is going to have to be the one to step up. And there you go, a nice frag from Chuch as the smoke blooms onto Destiny. Burn almost able to maybe get a player. Infrequent actually probably wouldn't have peeked in, and it's actually Infrequent to win that duel as Burn drops down the ladder there. And a great start into this round here from Athletico. And maybe you say it might not have been the best idea to actually force up, but it's certainly working out for them here.
I was talking strictly in terms of percentage of players going in their favour when you do the force buy rather than the actual. It looks like a genius idea if you pull it off, but then again, you look pretty silly if you don't. So at the moment, it's a genius play, but there's still 2 people left alive on Chiefs, and any damage that they can do here will cause economic hurt for Athletico. But it looks like it's going to be a 5 alive. So whatever Athletico talked about has worked well and truly for them, and they've actually picked up 2 weapons on top of that. So that's great. That's going to be really handy for them.
Really good stuff there for Athletico, and they're putting themselves in a good position to be able to close this out. Maybe 9-6 if they can pick up this round. The economy is not going to be the worst from the Chiefs, but it's certainly not going to be the best.
We'll see what Chiefs want to do. What has been working for them is the meander out onto the A side. Nick has provided with a little bit of highlights here as Destiny's been working this ladder area pretty well, and Infrequent's got quite a bit of information here. He knows that nobody's coming for the inside bomb site, which has allowed the rotation up the back there for Chutch to go back around to the Ivy area. Liaz, double kill to start off the round.
Yeah, double kill for him. Sonic able to pick one up as well, but Destiny trades back onto Liaz. Still, Destiny now finding himself as the only player alive on the side of the Chiefs. This is not a situation that he would have wanted to find himself in. He will be able to recover the bomb, but still has 4 players from Athletico to negotiate, and they've set themselves up in some really nice crossfires. He's got no idea where they are, actually flashing himself out there, I think. And, well, in the end, the only result that could have ever come from that was Destiny going down and the round going in the favor of the Chiefs. Athletico, even.
The 50-50 there.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
That's all right. So this buy coming out for Chiefs is good enough. That's for sure. A couple of Deagles. We've seen a few times during this weekend that what the power of the Deag can be. But at this moment, the advantage surely has to lie with Athletico, and especially when Infrequent opens up the round with that account taken care of. Chris, oh wow.
Nikez getting that double kill on the entry there, but oof, Infrequent almost able to land that shot on the cross. Wasn't to be, though, as now the Chiefs starting to try and get control of this site. Mungo finding one with the Deagle there onto Chutch. Down to 12 HP himself, but still alive and able to be a gun in the game. That's the important part. Destiny does go down in the meanwhile to Sonic, but Burn able to spot out that player, and the remaining one here for Athletico is Infrequent with the AWP. It's going to be a tough situation for him here. He's going to pull out the CZ and actually try to close the gap. If he can get a one-shot here onto Mungo, he's in a great spot to close this one out. And good stuff there from Athletico, and specifically Infrequent to close that first half out 9-6. Certainly a pretty good first half from them in the end, all things considered.
Big play there.
Yeah.
That's quite a big difference, 9-6 to 8-7. That turns out how it was. Chiefs being able to grind their way back into that round, but ultimately the 2v1 Infrequent play coming up clutch. So moving on to the T side, probably the side they're a little bit more well known for.
Yep.
And Chiefs CT side has at times been a little bit rocky. Pretty important pistol.
Yeah, I mean, Chiefs probably are going to be wanting to pick this one up a little bit more than Athletico, but that's not to say it's not important for Athletico here either. If they can close this one out and head into Parallax with some good momentum, then that's going to do a lot of wonders for Athletico. But at the moment, Athletico just splitting up a little bit, and we've got a couple of players charging straight out onto A, including the bomb carrier, while a couple of the other players are just hanging around up towards B in the brown hall. The bomb eventually goes down there, but the Chiefs are actually able to pick up a couple of kills as a result. It's a 3 versus 3 here still. Things going okay in the end for Athletico. They get a 1-for-1 trade, and now it's going to be tough here for these remaining Chiefs players to really get them out of that position without any utilities. Having said that, though, Chris O going to spot the head there of Sonic and take it off. Nick is going to try and sit on that defuse kit here, defuse here rather, and it does seem like he's going to be able to get it. Chutch just, oh, okay, he cancelled the defuse and got the kill onto Chutch.
No.
Oh, he got the defuse and then got the kill on the Chutch.
Yep.
Okay.
Chris had run out of bullets,
right?
So he was sitting there clicking away.
Yeah.
There's another one for Mav. 9-7, so Chiefs.
Don't give him any ideas.
Don't need to, really. Comes up with them on his own.
Yeah.
So Chiefs running with 4 Famises and an M4, not really taking any chances in this one. It's going to be a pretty tough and fast B push. Burns got a lot of work to do. He can get one. Can he get any more? Wow. Gets 2 more before getting taken out by Kyoto, and this is a good result for Athletico with bomb plant. That's 2 in 2 rounds. They'll be able to buy nicely coming into this 3rd round of the second half.
Yeah, they certainly will, but importantly, it is 2 rounds in the favour of Chiefs here, so 9 and 8 certainly looks a lot better than something like 11 and 6. So the Chiefs not going to be too disappointed with how this is going at the moment. They've got 4 rifles as well, so they don't necessarily need to rebuy any weapons here. Burn, of course, going to have to buy up, but the economy's starting to look pretty good here. Does look like Mungo going to invest in an M4 actually, and he dropped his FAMAS over to Burn. So interesting that you should put Burn on the FAMAS and Mungo on the M4 when Burn is the one fragging better, but.
Well, maybe it's the fact that Burn is fragging better and he's able to get it done with a FAMAS rather than needing an M4 to get it done.
Perhaps.
That's the thinking there. Either way, it's neither here nor there as Athletico are setting up their default. It looks like they want to sneak in down towards the B-bomb side. They're a little bit cautious about the smoke that's been thrown, covering off that area. And it is Burn solo holding on the B-bomb side. Chiefs running the 4 and 1. Which is a pretty common strategy, particularly towards the start of the round, having a lot of presence out on that quicker bomb site, A bomb site.
Yeah.
And at the moment, it is a bit of a stalemate.
Destiny in a bit of a strange position here. He's going to catch Chach off guard. Gets the free frag, really. Only losing a little bit of his HP in the process. But unfortunately for the Chiefs, Burn goes down on that B-bomb site without getting a frag. If he had been able to get one, they'd have been sitting in a pretty good position. But here now trying to retake the bomb site with uneven numbers even against them now. It's going to be pretty tough for the Chiefs.
One of the problems here for the Chiefs as well is just trying to find their way into the bomb site whatsoever. So a lot of lines being held there at long distance, and that AK versus the FAMAS gives a significant change, and Liaz stepping out and picking up his 3rd kill for the round there as well. So 10-8 is the favour, and it's, well, Mungo, of course, being the person that had to rebuy last round, or rather drop the weapon for Burn, and bought the M4 himself, is low on cash. Everybody else is going to have to eco as well. So a couple of slightly improved pistols being purchased. And of course, Athletico winning that round and coming through. We'll have 5 AKs to play with yet again. And we see the same 4-1 setup for the CTs. And they're probably just going to try and ninja around and see what they can find. Chach is chilling at spawn.
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy situation here for the Chiefs. Mungo, if he can get in here and maybe catch Chach off guard, get a gun, it's something, but Chach has got that all covered. I don't think Mungo's really going to be able to catch him off guard any longer. Athletico surely poised to close this one out. They've already got control of Ivy. Oh. And we'll see Chach pushing in. Well, it is a pistol buy from the Chiefs, so I don't think it's really that much of a crazy call.
Managed to get themselves into Ivy, and you're calling the round done and dusted. Anything can happen in Counter-Strike. We've seen that quite a number of times. Destiny getting one, but not a second one. So it's left in a 1 versus 2 scenario. And overall, 1 versus 2 being the end of the round here. That's a pretty good result from Chiefs, given the investment that they made. So, and it's going to get finished up quite nicely here as Liaz picks up the final kill. So 12-8, Athletico in the box seat in the second half, looking quite composed. Liaz is starting to turn up the notch a little bit on 21 frags. The next person on his team is on 14. Getting the most work done is Destiny, again, from that IGL position. Not only calling, but also getting plenty of frags for himself.
Certainly is. Mungo has opted to take away that Mag 7. I wonder where we're going to see him playing. Probably towards Pop Dog or maybe Electric Box. Just some sort of close angle would be nice for him. He's actually just going to charge straight into that smoke, but the Elephant Feet giving him away, and Chach will be able to take an easy frag in the end there. And Freakin also picking up Chris Liaz, taking down Destiny. And once again, Athletico just brute forcing their way onto this A bomb site with no troubles at all.
Chiefs looking like a fairly depleted team at this point. Yeah, not looking too good for them, but they're going to lose this frag here as well. Well, Burnt's not going to be able to save this, I would imagine. Might be able to pick up another 1 or 2 here, but it's not going to do too much for him. But yeah, Chiefs not looking very good on the CT side.
No, certainly not. I think they did have a little bit of trouble on their CT side as well against Exile 5, but they were able to get it done in the end. Athletico, though, seems to be a little bit of a different beast at the moment. It just doesn't seem like Chiefs are really going to be able to find anything at the moment. Every time you see Athletico charging into the bomb site, it's always frags going in their favour. So at that point, what do you really do as Chiefs? Like, they've already got the 4 stacked over to the A bomb site. They can't really put anyone else in there without giving up control of the B site for free. And they've tried doing different strategies. They put Mungo on the Mag 7, tried to get him to go forward. That didn't work. And nothing's really working out here for the Chiefs at the moment.
They're going to have to go onto another eco there, but you know, the plus side is Burn has an M4. Perhaps that can be a way they can find into this round, and they did manage to get them down just to 2 players last time on the eco round, so perhaps some heroics can come through again. But at the moment, like you said, Athletico are seeming fairly in control, and really, I guess they're playing into form towards the right end of the tournament, deep into this lower bracket final.
It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at the moment, but you'd have to suspect that's not going to be the case for much longer as Athletico start to move with purpose towards that bomb train on the A site. And they pick up another frag onto Mungo. These remaining Chiefs players really look like they're just playing for the retake here, or maybe even just going to try and save that AK and the M4 and send Nickers in to do a bit of annoyance work, really.
This round, it's not really winnable, so they should certainly be saving these weapons, it looks like. Common sense has prevailed for Destiny as he chooses to lurk a little bit outside of mid, and Nickers, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Nickers trying to go and find something here. But it looks like he's going to join Destiny to provide a little bit of moral support. Or rather, it's Burn that's going to go there. So where's Nickers? Still hanging up above the ladder, so he's going to try and find something. Hopefully it comes that way, but the T's have decided. Chutch is making his way out through main, but the rest of them are going to hang out in a safe area down near Ivy, and they're not going to go down and lose their weapons. So 13-8 Chiefs. I mean, this is the round. They need to pull this one in here.
Yeah.
And this is where they need to make a stand, draw a line in the sand, and make an impact, and keep the dream alive.
Honestly, it just seems like they don't really have it in them at the moment.
Yeah, they look flat. There's not a lot of talk really coming out of them on stage as well. There's not a lot of emotion on their faces. Just seems like they may have almost sort of given it away already, which is it's quite unlike Chiefs. But there's still plenty left to Counter-Strike. There's a number of rounds that can still be played, but already Chutch picking up the first kill on this one. It's not looking good.
Yeah, and again, Athletico just really looking towards the A bomb site for the moment. A couple of players again from the CTs hanging around there, but really you've just back Athletico at the moment. Infrequent is going to be looking in towards Ivy, knows that there's a player in there, but isn't able to actually spot him out. Burn in the meanwhile going for a bit of an aggressive push up towards Brown Halls. I like seeing a little bit of a change there, and it did work out for him. Mungo pushing into A main. He's going to pick up one, and Nickers all of a sudden finding a double kill. So perhaps we spoke too soon, Mike. It seems like Athletico faltering in this round.
Ooh.
Having said that, though, Liaz, so cool in these clutch situations, finding 2 with a great spray down there onto Chriso, and now it's down to Mungo in the 1v1.
They don't even have 100 hit points between them, just shy. Is Liaz going to be able to clutch it and really put, I guess, the nail in the coffin?
He has no idea where Mungo is, but Mungo just a little bit too slow coming out of the connector there. If he had been half a second quicker, he'd have been able to find an easy frag onto Liaz. But now the favour is there for Liaz, and he picks up the clutch. 1 versus 3. That's exactly what Athletico needed to pick this map up, and they're going to be surely able to roll on out from here. And the momentum heading into Parallax is... well, you can hear them screaming and shouting, so, you know, what more do I have to say, really?
Yeah, not a lot, really. I think you pretty much nailed it there. They're going to be keen and up for the fight to take on the Parallax, but we can't say it's done yet. It's only 14-8 at this stage. Chiefs still have the ability to come back into it. They have enough weapons to make an impact on this round if they can start getting a couple of early frags and close out their round. I mean, they should have won that last round. That was a 3 versus 1 that Liaz managed.
Yeah.
Yep. There was a little bit of choking going on there that killed onto the bomb site from the back of Ivy there down towards the A bomb site.
Yeah.
Should not have gone in the way of Liaz's favour based on the spray that he did. But he got it done, and Infrequent opens it up for him. But he gets traded out quickly by Nickers there as well. So pretty handy there.
Oh, the repeat from Nickers.
Well, he was kind of stuck there a little bit. But yes, he potentially could have waited for some teammates.
Could have waited for the smoke to bloom before he tried to get out. But did get traded out as a result, and now Athletico finding themselves once again with the 4v3 advantage. They've got reasonable control up towards Ivy, have yet to actually make inroads to either of these bomb sites, but just biding their time, waiting to see if they can get anywhere for free.
Just trying to figure out. Looks like they're heading towards the inner bomb site, which is going to be interesting because that's where Burn is at the moment. He's got the scout, and he's actually going to back off it right at the wrong second here. I think, no, he's going to rotate the way back through. And it's been spotted out there by Chach, who's made his way up onto the upper ramp there and gets tagged by the jumping scout and gets taken down there, but the bomb is going to go down. All of a sudden, we're in a 2 versus 2 scenario. The bomb down, and that's pretty reasonable positions here from Athletico.
Certainly do, but Burn going to be charging straight forward with the scout. Gets the tag onto Kyoto, who subsequently runs straight into the fire and Burn's alive. Now they just have to find Sonic, and Burn, he has an idea where he would be, just slowly making his way up in towards the brown halls. He's going to peek around the corner and not quite win the duel. That's really not good here at all for the guys from the Chiefs. Really going to make life difficult here for Chriso, who is just going to be sitting right on the bomb train, burning alive. He was waiting to see maybe if that player was going to peek, but
I think that sums up the Chiefs
right now. Mind games.
Mind games. They have been won by Athletico, I feel. I think this last round
wasn't really much else that Chriso could do there.
Yeah, I mean, he had to drag the player out, and yep, he played it perfectly. So 15-8 is the scoreline. Atletico looking, would you call it an upset, Jordan? I think you would.
Yes, well, considering I said 2-0 for Chiefs. But having said that,
So
before this tournament, I did call Athletico to win the tournament. So take from that what you will.
Okay. You're not a man of your word, perhaps. Infrequent opening up the account yet again. But Destiny's on a really good, not so good lurk there as he gets taken down there by Sonic. So that kind of sums up what's going on for the Chiefs in this half of Counter-Strike. Athletico seems to be romping all over them, and they're in a strong position to close this one out, 4 versus 2. Although, Chris.
Well, doing his best, but it's not going to be enough. Sonic able to pick him up there, and now down to Burn once again with the scout. He did good work with it in the last round, but not going to have enough in that one. 16-8, the final scoreline there. Atletico winning 2-0, and I just want to point out, Chiefs were only able to get 2 CT rounds.
Yeah, really struggling on that second side, and I mean, they have struggled a little bit on the CT side throughout this tournament, but it really only 2 rounds.
Yeah, well, that performance from Atletico is, I guess, what we kind of expected to see them from day one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where our train of thought has been regarding Atletico. Good to see them finally stepping up to the plate here and bringing it to the Chiefs. But now they're going to go on to face Parallax, which we all know is, at least at the moment, really their kryptonite, so to speak, given that they only were able to get 3 rounds total against Parallax off 2 maps. So that should be an interesting map coming up. Or match, rather, coming up.
It certainly will be, it'll be very interesting. You can see on the faces there of the Atletico guys, they're looking pretty happy that they've managed to rebound their form and progress through this tournament. And the Chiefs looking a little bit nonplussed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for the Chiefs, this is kind of where we almost expected them to be. You know, I didn't expect them to come out here and win the entire tournament or anything like that. I mean, they've had some roster issues and lots of things going on in their lineup, so it's going to be interesting to see really where they develop as a team from here on out. But
it's going to be interesting to see what they do as a team. Period. Not necessarily develop, because obviously Mungo being the sub at the moment, is he going to keep playing in the core, or pick someone else up?
Who knows?
The shuffle will continue, I feel.
Maybe we'll let the analysis desk discuss that. It looks like they're ready for you guys, so we'll send it over to Sandman to break down that matchup.
Thanks, Selfish Guy. We're always ready for you, mate. Ladies and gents, we are back where we started here. The weekend began with Parallax up against Atletico. Atletico picked up 3 rounds across 2 maps. Yep. Why do we even bother? What was the point of the rest of the weekend? And we're here again. That's where we're going to be. Did anyone genuinely think that Atletico was going to come through in 2-0?
Well, I mean, I picked Chiefs in 2, so no.
You did, but
having said that, I did say whoever won the first map will win the series.
Yeah,
so
I don't like that statistic, Peter.
Well, I do. That's why I choose it, because it's very ambiguous. It allows me to be right a lot of the time, so I use it. But no, great work by Athletico. They really ran super hard on train. They were up, and then they were down, and then they were up, and then they were down, and then they flattened out and got the job done. So when you can do that as a team, I think you're in fighting form, and they can do a lot against Parallax because they're going to have a lot of ups and downs in that series because we saw the Chiefs Parallax series, which was just the most unpredictable thing ever. And I think it's going to be very similar with Athletico because they match up well like Chiefs, and just really thrilled for the guys to get through to the final and such a young roster.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Getting a lot of experience early.
They are. They certainly are, and great for their trip to China a little bit later on in the year.
Yep.
So, Jim, we talked about where Athletico were, here at LAN in comparison to where they had been at line. Online. We'd said they weren't there yet. What is this in a percentage of their online skill that we see? What are we at now? We at 80%?
I think we're starting to get there. I think we're starting to find the mark that these guys are playing at. Obviously, this was a completely different level from what we've seen in every stage of this competition so far. I mean, they've gone from non-attendees on the first day through to a team that did enough to get past XL5. Here, they showed a full, deck of cards against Chiefs. So, yeah, it's definitely been an improved performance all the way out. Now, as I said earlier, they had experienced a full spectrum of wins. This year against Chiefs was a crushing win on a map that Chiefs picked.
It is. They must be feeling good right about now. Let's go and take a look at one of the replays from that game there on Train. We're here with Infrequent, and let's see. Oh, look at this one.
Oh.
So strong on that CZ.
That was massive.
That was it.
Julius Caesar.
That's it. There's huge plays. And that's how you come ahead and win, isn't it? Like stuff like that. We talked about, well, you guys specifically talked about individual skill and getting some key victories in those angels or one. That wasn't an angel. He was just there at the right place at the right time and put himself in the right position.
Yeah, just the confidence there, I think. Just the confidence to step out in that 2 versus 1 and back himself in. There's so many players that would have stayed in CTCon for ages with the AWP out, trying to get that first pick and open up the second frag. But he backed himself in straight away, charged out with that CZ, and his frag on Burn was actually reward for being aggressive, because he'd never have got that kill on Burn if he hadn't have gone straight at the first guy, got him, and then quickly changed angles onto Burn.
Well, that's right. They hadn't even planted at that stage, so completely disrupting play from start to finish.
Yep.
We talk a lot about, I suppose, you have to play, how am I going to win this round? I'm probably not going to win this round if I just hang back. If I was to watch back on myself back at time, the way I would win this round is I have to push now. I have to find a frag here to give me an opportunity to find a frag later. And I think that's probably what we saw. Jim, Parallax, they've had a chance to sit back and watch this. They haven't lost a game so far this weekend, and they decimated Athletico yesterday. But this is obviously an entirely different Athletico team we have here. How are Parallax feeling right now?
Look, I dare say they're going to be taking the same mentality they took into yesterday's match. I spoke to those guys after the Athletico game. I went around, shook their hands. I said they played fantastic Counter-Strike. But in the team talks that they had, they were very, very much focused on shutting out any other opinion. They were very much focused on their own game. Despite getting over Athletico, they'll still be very much sticking to the same game plan. So I don't predict them to do too much different here.
Okay.
They've got that mental edge already. Athletico, on the other hand, have started to build their own, bank of confidence, and now's the time to cash in.
So, Chiefs already played Parallax today. Do you think that what Chiefs did to them before, do you think Athletico can just take the one step further, Peter? Or do you think that Chiefs didn't really challenge them anyway?
No, they definitely challenged them, and it was in a very meaningful way because Parallax, their structure on CT side and T side was tested to its absolute maximum by Chiefs. The individual pushes, the solo plays, as well as the firepower that they possessed, at times overwhelming the Parallax guys. They looked great in spurts and then looked very, very average in other spurts. And that's why when I was casting the game with Sniper, we sort of were at odds. And so were you guys on the analysis desk after that final map. We kind of like, well, what happened? Who actually won that map? It says Parallax, but there were so many chances for both of those teams to win the game. Here for Athletico, they just need to do them, and I think that that's a great mentality from Parallax, that they're just going to go in and play their game. And I think that if Athletico go in and do the same, we'll have a cracking series as we did online in CG just about a week ago, as we had yesterday, and hopefully as we are going to have in the final.
Well, I'm interested to see how that bodes because the Athletico we saw just then were a completely different side to how they played Parallax in the earlier matchup.
Yeah.
They were taking initiative, particularly as CT. They were aggressive when they needed to be. That was non-present at all on day one. So against the more structured side, like Parallax is, that setup is going to work and it is going to disrupt them to some degree.
Well, guys and girls, they say in life you get few opportunities to have a second shot at something. But in this situation, Atletico certainly does. If they had gone out this weekend, going down, losing to Parallax how they did yesterday, and perhaps dropping in a little bit early, they would be feeling pretty average right about now. But they can redeem themselves. We are going to take a break, and when we come back, the grand final of the ESL Australia and New Zealand Championship for Counter-Strike Global Offensive even. Atletico up against Parallax. We'll be back right after this.